it's just what's bothering me is that being a celebrity sometimes comes with, like, everybody wants to be successful in a celebrity and stuff like that, but it comes with, bull sometimes, and you know, that's the only thing that I hate about it.
Terrence Howard is finally breaking his silence about why the industry blackballed Bryshere Gray, and he basically confirmed the rumors about Bryshere being used and tossed around the industry. Terrence has been one of the most outspoken people in the industry, and he's been relentlessly calling out some of the very bizarre things that some of these celebrities do to get to the top. But no one takes him seriously because of his questionable past. The crazy thing is Jaguar, right, has also said this before. But once again, nobody took her seriously enough to do something about it. Jaguar even went as far as to recall the time that Bryshere was seen running out of Will Smith's house screaming for help.
These people are not powerful. Satan can't create anything. That includes blessings for his people. That's why, you know what the number one job of somebody that sold their soul in Hollywood is?
What?
Is to act like it didn't happen. They all do the same job.
You might want to get yourself a chair for this one cuz we about to get into something crazy, okay? So I'm sure most of y'all have already heard about how some high-profile industry men have been forcing some other men in the industry into very bizarre and ritualistic parties in exchange for opportunities in Hollywood. Diddy was recently exposed for allegedly being one of the notorious people doing that to a lot of these young boys, and just when we thought we had heard it all, Terrence Howard stepped into the chat to spill some more TC. Terrence was Bryshere's castmate in Empire, and they worked together for some years until the show ended, so he has way more information about what Bryshere is doing than anyone else. But before we get into all that, let me give you a little bit of backstory as to how Bryshere became a victim of the industry. Okay, so Bryshere was discovered by talent manager Charlie Mack when he was still a teenager. After working together for a few months, Charlie became Bryshere's manager and used his connections to give Bryshere a slot to audition for Empire. As expected, Bryshere ate the audition down and was later casted to be in the show. The show went on to be a huge success, and Bryshere's career blew up. Charlie later introduced Bryshere to Will Smith to mentor him into becoming a well-rounded actor. At the time, many people didn't realize how disturbing this link-up really was, because according to Jaguar, Bryshere went through some very traumatic stuff at the hands of the industry men like Will Smith. I do want to add, though, neither Will or Bryshere has ever come out to deny or confirm these rumors, and we all know the rumors surrounding Will Smith. Like, do you all remember when David Arquette said in a Facebook rant that Will was actually gay and that his first marriage to Cherie ended because she caught him with another man? He said when Jada comes out as gay and her beard husband admits that his first marriage ended when she walked in on him servicing his sugar debt. Addie Benny Medina, then I will listen to them. Jaguar Wright confirmed this when she revealed that Will lures these young men in by lying to them and saying that he's going to mentor them. She also said that there was a time when Bryshere and Meek Mill reportedly ran out of Will Smith's home screaming for help. They're both bisexual. They do weird things in their house, and young men have left their house screaming to get away from them in their mentorship. Meek Mill's Bryshere Gray left that house screaming. August, the only one that stayed. And I guess he was really sick, he needed the help. Jaguar also alleged that Jaden saw something crazy, and that's why he moved out of the house at just 15. What made these allegations even more believable is that Will never denied it, but he was quick to file a lawsuit against his former assistant, who claimed that he caught Will in bed with Dwayne Martin. Now back to Bryshere. A lot of people found it very weird that his rap career never took off despite having so many powerful connections, and many believe that the trauma that Bryshere suffered in the industry eventually took a serious toll on his mental health, because he became a mess after Empire ended and his career went downhill. When he was found guilty for aggravated against a woman he was hooking up with at the time. But this wasn't his first running with the law, because back in 2020, his wife was rescued by a random man at a nearby gas station. After she had gone there asking for help, she told police that Bryshere had strangled her and put his hands on her multiple times until she lost consciousness when the police pulled up to his house to arrest him. He refused to come out of the house and took hours of negotiation between the ESD double. T-Team and Bryshere to get him to come out of the house, and when his mugshots were released, people couldn't help but point out how different he looked. This was when people started to piece everything together and realized just how much damage the industry really caused him.
News in the arrest of Bryshere Gray, one of the stars of the hit show Empire. Tonight we're seeing hours of new video from his July arrest that ended with his wife flagging down police and telling them the actor had assaulted her for hours inside their Goodyear home. The bizarre jailhouse interview lasting for 2 hours as they try to piece together a chaotic chain of events.
But at the end of the day, Bryshere is a grown man who's solely responsible for his actions. However, we can't ignore the fact that the trauma he went through is what made him end up like this, and what's even more sad is that Bryshere was actually doing good for himself. He was performing at small venues, getting booked, and making multiple TV appearances. But all of that stopped out of nowhere. His music was no longer getting played on the radio, and no director wanted him on their show. It was clear as day. He had been blackballed. But at the time, nobody really knew who blackballed him. But as I said before, Terrence has always been very vocal about the bizarre things that happen to men in Hollywood. Terrence has specifically been vocal about Hollywood's agenda to feminize black men by making them wash down their masculinity. According to Terrence, they force a lot of black men into this in exchange for a chance in Hollywood, and sometimes go as far to making them wear dresses to further emasculate and embarrass them. During Terrence's interview with Revolt TV to promote his film The System, he revealed that Hollywood sees black men as threats, and that's why they keep trying to emasculate them with the new formula. Most men are made to be effeminate and not have their power or sense of strength. They allow white men to be strong, but not when it's black men, he continued. I don't want to remove a few chromosomes to fit in someone's story, so I feel they need to expand their stories to allow men to be men and simultaneously appreciate a woman's beauty. In another interview, he said everything is androgynous. The more successful men are now effeminate, so as you can see, Terrence is worried about Bryshere. He's also concerned about the fact that the industry is trying to turn black men into effeminate men now. As usual, people had their own thoughts about this, and they did not hold back, like this person who said this is terrible. He needs to sue, and for more than $50 million, so said. Not only do Terrence Howard is finally breaking his silence about why the industry blackballed Bryshere Gray, and he basically confirmed the rumors about Bryshere being used and tossed around the industry. Terrence has been one of the most outspoken people in the industry, and he's been relentlessly calling out some of the very bizarre things that some of these celebrities do to get to the top. But no one takes him seriously because of his questionable past. The crazy thing is Jaguar Wright has also said this before. But once again, nobody took her